Hi everyone. Today I would like to talk about the dark side of learning a language. So I'm in my first week of learning Spanish, and to recap, I have spent 2 years daydreaming about what I would do when I start learning Spanish and how wonderful it was going to be, and how much I love the sound of the language, and how excited I am that there are so many similar words in English and French that are in Spanish, and I told all my friends. And then the first day rolled around and I had a headache after my first study session. Okay, my brain was working a little hard, not a problem. Then I attempted to listen to just a simple dialogue in Spanish, and I realized that I didn't like Spanish anymore. I didn't like the sound of it. It's loud, and I suddenly don't like the music. And what was I thinking? Why am I doing this? This is going to take too much of my time. Is it really worth it? It was the dark side of language learning. So a lot of people will say that they start off language learning with a pink cloud. Oh, I'm in the pink cloud of language learning. I'm loving everything. I'm learning new words. It feels so great. Sadly, I don't have a lot of pink clouds. I have a lot of panic clouds. It's true. And I believe that there are other learners out there that have panic clouds as well. And the ones that succeed are the ones that find ways to work around the panic clouds. So the example I have for French is my panic cloud was, I will never learn a language. I've attempted to learn a language 10 times. I'm doing this wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm wasting my time. I'll never learn a language. That was the tape that kept rolling in my head. Now I speak French, not perfectly, but I speak French. So that tape can't happen anymore. That panic cloud is long gone. I worked through it because I kept telling my teachers and my friends, I don't think I know how to learn a language. I bumped into Fluent in 3 months, which is the reason why I can speak French now. Now I'm taking the ad one for Spanish, and a new tape is occurring, which is Spanish is ugly. I don't like Spanish. I don't like the sounds of it. It doesn't make sense. And I thought, why is this happening? Just 2 days ago, I loved Spanish. I loved the sound of it. I thought it was incredible. Suddenly, I don't like it. And then I realized that it's my brain's way of saying, this is hard. Stop doing it. Let's do something easier. My brain has not yet formed a habit around Spanish. Some people will say that you need to get uncomfortable with the language quickly. I say I like to ease into a language like I would a warm bath. So I tricked my brain. I love taking walks. And usually on my walks, I listen to language, the language that I'm studying. For instance, I'll go on a walk and I'll listen to a book on tape in French. And I'm getting my language practice, but I'm also enjoying my walk with this lovely book. That was not comfortable for me in Spanish because I barely know anything. So what I did was I sandwiched it with things that I like. I took a podcast that is in English, but about Spanish, called Coffee Break Spanish, and another podcast called Spanish con Salsa. And in both of those podcasts, it's really easy listening. They're speaking English, they're explaining some Spanish, they're saying some Spanish words, but my brain isn't overloaded. They usually last about 15 minutes, which is perfect because then I put on an easy dialogue in Spanish. I usually do this with Link. I love Link because it's very easy to listen to an audiobook or a dialogue that I've selected on my phone. At first, I was only listening to 5 minutes of Spanish because I didn't like it. I didn't like the sound of it. My brain didn't like it. Now, within only a few days, I'm able to easily listen to Spanish for 20 minutes in a clip. And it doesn't feel like too much. I don't have a headache and I'm enjoying it. The reason this worked is because after I did my 5 minutes and now 20 minutes, I would then reward myself at the end of the walk with 10 minutes of listening to something in French because French is easy for me now. So for you, if this is your first language, you may want to listen to some really cool music at the end of whatever habit you're adding this onto. But for me, it was listening to French. And now my habit is formed. I still know very little French. I still know very little Spanish. It's just the beginning of my learning journey, but I love the language again. And I'm remembering why I wanted to learn it. I'm remembering the curiosity that I had. I have it. I have the curiosity again, and that's going to get me through the long haul. So I hope this helps you during your dark moments of language learning, and I wish you happy